Phillip Newsholme, more charges expected to be laid against Curtin University professor. Journalist Emily Moulton. The West Australian, more charges are expected to be laid against a prominent Curtin University professor accused of using social media apps and encrypted messaging services to procure young girls to send him explicit videos. Phillip Newsholme, who is the head of biomedical sciences at the Western Australian institution, has already been charged with 12 offences, which also include allegations he downloaded and exchanged child abuse material with other users. But during another failed bid to be freed from prison, Perth Magistrates Court was told police expected to lay another 46 charges against the leading professor once forensic investigators had finished combing all his electronic devices. Professor Newsholme has been locked up in Haga prison since his arrest last month, with a magistrate denying him freedom because of the strong prosecution case against him and a risk he might flee the jurisdiction. But the 62-year-old made another attempt to get out of jail on Tuesday, with his lawyer Damien Cripps successfully arguing that the court could enliven the previous application because his previous legal representative did not have all the material regarding his medical conditions. He also argued his client, whose work he said was cited by more than 11,000 other scientists and who had written more than 200 scientific articles, was not a flight risk because he was still employed at the university and was a low risk of reoffending because he had effectively been caught with his hand in the cookie jar. He's got ties to community, Mr. Cripps said. He instructs me if he was granted bail he would continue to work. He indicated to me he currently had offers to write scientific papers from a number of people. Mr. Cripps told the court if his client was granted bail and banned from using the internet he would have colleagues deliver papers to him, cutting out the need for him to use the internet for research. With regards to Professor Newsholme's health, Mr. Cripps said his client had significant heart issues, had been fitted with a pacemaker and was on a new regime of medication. He said his client supported his mother, who lives in Ireland, and could raise a $30,000 surety as well as a significant personal undertaking, and he said any concerns about having contact with his young granddaughter were almost moot because she lived in Queensland and measures could be put in place preventing any access. But in opposing bail, the police prosecutor told the court Professor Newsholme had made admissions in an interview to downloading child abuse material as far back as 2017. He said he had engaged with several young females aged between 11 and 15 on various social media platforms and exposed them to indecent material. At his previous bail application hearing, the court was told Professor Newsholme had allegedly been communicating with numerous young girls via Snapchat and Telegram. Some of those children live in the US, UK and NSW. In one alleged incident he allegedly told an 11-year-old girl, who he had been chatting to for about a month, that he loved her and that they were now boyfriend and girlfriend. He also allegedly told one associate that he really likes little girls aged between 5 and 12 and allegedly sent a girl he believed was under 16 a naked video of himself. During Tuesday's hearing, the police prosecutor said officers investigating the case expect to charge Professor Newsholme with another 46 offenses once they had finished downloading the devices which had been seized from his Como home and workplace. In refusing bail, Magistrate Erin O'Donnell said while she accepted Mr. Cripps' admission that Professor Newsholme wanted to sort out his affairs and was still employed at Curtin, there was still some risk of flight. She also said the case against the professor was strong and the likely outcome if convicted would be imprisonment, adding the outline of alleged facts, which included descriptions of the material found on the devices and the messages sent, were extremely serious. Professor Newsholme is expected to appear in court again in September.